Hello. I'm out here in my favorite spot at the park that makes me feel grounded and centered and connected. And I just wanted to bring forth a message about um, those of us that are very sensitive people. And I personally came into this world already awake. People have spiritual awakenings and they have that aha moment where they realize what they're supposed to do. But I came into this world already knowing my purpose, already knowing who I was on a spiritual level. But the world isn't really set up for people that are sensitive emotionally, spiritually, physically. The world is, it has harsher edges, and it tends to, overcorrect a child that's sensitive and tell them that there's something wrong with them internally and that they need to change and they need to be stronger and they need to be harsher to be able to fit into the world. But the thing is, you're actually meant to change the harsh world, not have the harsh world change you. And so, speaking from personal experience, the choices that I decided upon before I came here, and the paths that I took while I was here, they took me as deep as I could go into the darkness so that I could see the inner workings of things, right? And obviously there comes a point in time where it feels like you become broken by the darkness, and it feels overwhelming, and it feels like you just don't fit in, you don't belong, you don't feel valued or seen or understood, because you're always being corrected and being asked to be something different and to change yourself and to adapt to a world that feels unmoving, and the fact that it doesn't really have much give for those that need it. And I wanted to see the darkness, but there was a point in my time in my life where I got so suckered into it, and I let the world tell me who I was. I let the world tell me that I wasn't enough, and I let the world tell me that there was something wrong with me. So even though I was awake, I chose to go back into hiding, and I chose to go back to sleep for a while. And then when I realized no, it's not about me fitting into the world around me. It's about creating a world where I fit in, right? And that was a huge realization, and it really helped to, man, my hairs are so gray. But it really helped to solidify to me that it wasn't about, changing who we are. And it's those that are, think differently neurologically, and your body is more receptive to everything. I feel everything. I feel the earth around me. I feel the people around me. I feel the change in the environment. I feel the change in the weather. I feel everything. And being more perceptive, and you kind of hunker down, because there's that part of you that it's just so overwhelming, and it just feels like it's too much, right? So I tend to go into my little hermit mode, and I tend to just hunker down and shut things out, because it's easier for me to shut down than to accept certain things in the environment around me. And I'm sure that there's plenty of people like that. Your nerve endings are so sensitive, and just being able to feel so much, and being able to hear so much and being able to see so much, you know, it becomes overwhelming. And you know, you see people that find ways to adapt to it, either with wearing like noise canceling headphones, or you know, doing things that kind of keep them in a more protected state. And that's beautiful, because what we need to do is not change who we are, right? We don't want to change who we are, because we're meant to create huge amounts of change in the world around us. The world is not meant to change us. And, you know, obviously we're always growing and we're always learning and we're always adapting, and that requires change. I get that. But what I mean is, like, that sensitivity that you have is not a bad thing. It's actually a very good thing. And not allowing the world to take that from you, and not allowing the world to harden you, and not allowing the world to tell you that, you know, you don't fit into society because of how you act. Society in general is what needs to change. The way that we've always done things isn't working at this point in time. And so we need to do things differently. And it's time to step into that power and realize that your sensitivity is actually a huge blessing. It's something that is going to bring so much love and connection to the world, and not allowing the world to tell you that you need to be quiet, you need to sit still, you need to, you know, stop being so tenderhearted and stop, you know, being so sensitive to things. That's not the answer, right? The answer is break apart. The answer is be open, be vulnerable, be absolutely aware of the connection that you have to those around you and to the world around you. Because in doing so, you understand that it's not about staying in a enemy mindset. It's not about staying in a us versus them mindset. It's not about us keeping that division, right? It's about becoming one heartbeat. It's about being so, you know, connected to everything around you that you feel empathy for the people that you cause harm to and the people that cause harm to you. And you understand that there's a different way to approach things. And maybe bringing that kindness and that sympathy and that gentleness into the things that you do will benefit everybody involved, right? So I just want to reach out to everyone who feels like they need to make themselves small because however they're acting is triggering somebody else. That's not really, obviously we should be mindful of like how our words and our actions affect other people, because we don't want to go out there and just, you know, say whatever we want to say and it causes somebody pain. There is a balance that's involved, but also realizing that you shouldn't make yourself smaller so that somebody else feels more comfortable. You can both be big and beautiful and take up space together. It doesn't have to be one person gets space and the other person doesn't get the space. So just remember that the openness that you have and the tenderness that you have, it is actually a very powerful blessing. And people that tell you that, you know, you are not normal or you're not, you know, you don't fit in. You're not supposed to. You're supposed to stand out. You're supposed to, you know, create a change in the way that we see each other and the way that we see the world and the way that we connect with each other. And you're on the right path and you're doing the right thing. Okay? So just keep being you, keep being beautiful, and keep, you know, expressing the beauty inside of you. Okay? Bye, guys.